Team Yukon is here at the Wandering Electrician World Headquarters. Well, we got to get in the truck and drive to Missouri. Y'all ready?
Ready.
All right, so we just got gas here in Cooksville, Tennessee. I had to ask a local where we were. Oh, sitting on my trail mix. And how y'all feeling, boys?
Dirt Dobber's on
Dirt Dobber's got his ice cream. If you didn't know, Dirt Dobber is a massive fan of ice cream. I've never seen him pass it up.
Yep.
It's the main food group, right?
It is midnight snack, I guess, almost.
Yep, midnight snack, 11:30. We've been on the road since 5. We have about 5 hours and 43 minutes left.
About. Give or take.
Having fun now. So we're at a marathon that's not open, stretching our legs at about 2 in the morning our time, 2:30. And Eddyville's the closest town. We've been talking about cow patty fights and all kind of good stuff. Austin has never partaken of a cow patty fight. In fact,
I'm gonna say I'm pretty proud of that.
In fact, only Dirt Dobber and I in this truck are cow patty veterans.
Really?
If you've never thrown cow patties at each other, you're not living. And I will say that things get serious because you normally start with crusties only, and then someone gets one that's a little green on the underside, if you know what I'm saying, and that'll stick to you. And then it's full on, anything goes, keep your mouth shut. You don't want to lick your lips, but you'd want it off there. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You are not allowed to cut this out of the video.
It's on the, I'm telling you, getting a cow patty fight, it's the best. 3 a.m. and we're somewhere in backwoods Kentucky, stuck on Q playing the alphabet game. Apparently I missed a Q on a sign when the other guys were still on P. Austin was kind enough to point that out so I could remember that for the next hour. We're seeing 2 letters a mile and none of them are Q. If you've ever wanted to be a kayaker who does road trips, this is what it's all about.
River King, this is where the magic happens.
Ah, got my Z. Winner right there. Alphabet game right in Missouri. Of course, I mean, it was over when it began, but the guys made a good run.
Hey, winner, you're up on the pump. Get the pumping gas.
Winner gets to pay for the gas. All right, it is 5:37 local time where I'm from. It's 4:37 here. We just arrived at the landing, and this is where our hosts are staying the night, and we're here with Brian and Brenda Dillard, Ashley and John. So this is basically the takeout for the trip. So we got about 3 hours to kill. So 3.5 hours I guess we're just gonna
Jerry, you're late.
start sleeping, I guess. Woo, we made it. Well, we're up. We had an hour of sleep, and that's all we need. So we're just kind of milling around in the morning, waiting for Brian and Brenda, John and Ashley to finish their beauty rest. You know, I guess the Tennessee folk need actual sleep cycles to function. But I'm gonna show the guys. This is gonna be a fun trip. We are here at the landing, right on the bank of the river.
We're missing somebody.
Who are we missing? Ah, let him sleep. We left Dirt Dobber in the truck. He's
probably the only one that got any decent sleep out of that.
That's right. Pretty cool place here. Man, what a beach of gravel. It's pretty cool. So we have a fantastic sunrise happening here. The landing behind me. And I'll get you a first look at the current river. Rocks as far as the eye can see. It's pretty neat. Kind of different than anything I've really been on. But there she is. That's probably 5-6 miles per hour right there. Sitting still. That's Namakogan speed. Bald eagle.
There he is, bald eagle. It's a good omen.
There's the trip.
There's the trip.
World famous. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
So this is John. We'll be spending the next 5 days on the river with him and Brian and Brenda and Ashley. Looking forward to it. Looks awesome. We got Ashley, another part of the crew. Good to meet you, man.
You too, man. How's it going?
Good. Kevin, Brian, Austin.
Good to meet you guys.
Ashley.
It's good to meet you, Brian.
Great. We'll do it okay?
Oh yeah. And the man of the hour, Brenda Dillard. Good to meet you, man. Finally, it's
Good
been
to
too
meet you.
long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Austin.
Kind of surreal.
Yeah.
Right.
See you, Brian.
Hey, man. Brian, good to meet you, buddy.
Yeah.
Kevin, good to meet you, man.
Brian has put this all together. He is our host.
Let's go.
This is his, this river is one of his faves, I guess. So he invited us up here, so it's good to be here, man. Well, we've been walking around. We're looking forward to it. The brains of the operation has just arrived.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good to meet you. It's Brenda.
Brian, Kevin.
I hear she's also the muscle of the operation. Morning, sunshine. Look who we got here. That's how real men sleep. Someone has some destroyed gear, but he's comfortable.
Yeah, he's on my bag. Cowboy, come out meet the crew.
So yeah, here's a trailer.
But, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Very excited to
5.
get on
There's
the
a
river.
10-spot
It's been a
trailer.
long night.
Should work. We'll see what happens. You're doing a great job, Kev.
Yeah.
We'll give you a job. No, 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 no. To the inside. There you go.
I'm so stupid.
Okay, by the time you get all 9 of these on there, you'll have it down pat.
The trailer almost loaded. That's a heap of kayaks right there. That looks like a good time waiting to happen, or a really bad story that's only good later. Awesome trailer. Almost loaded up, getting all the gear in the van, and then we'll be set.
This is how this is done. Watch. It's going backwards.
You hush. You hush.
It took us like 30 minutes to get out of the driveway the first time when we got the trailer. I was like, oh
She's
my God.
timing you out, man. Cut. The back tire's a little low. They're putting some air in there. He had the boats bungee corded.
Irreplaceable.
I know.
Ulcer medicine was coming out.
Look on y'all's faces.
So yeah, we strapped him.
It only took
He had a method. It probably the boats would have been there, but gave me the heebie-jeebies. I had to put some straps on it. The Current River, nestled in the Ozark Mountains of Missouri. This has long been on my list of places to paddle, but I've just never made it out this way. It's probably one of the most kayak rivers in America, and not wanting to spend a week wrestling crowds, we decided to run it in the off-season. My initial impression of the area was it was similar to the Uwharrie Mountains of North Carolina, but on a much bigger scale. There were elk, bear, wolves, minks, wild boar. They may even have wampus cats and chupacabra. We confirmed the existence of MOMO, the wild hairy creature of Missouri, and we do have footage. We'll show that to you a little later. The river itself is emerald green. It's lined with gravel beaches, rock bluffs and cliffs, and hills full of cedars and hardwoods. The nature of the river is one of steady current without any big rapids. Nevertheless, by the time this trip was over, we would find all the adventure we were looking for. We are here.
Yeah, you meant to do it.
The put in for the current river. Oh, we're in a van. You cannot open from the inside. It's kind of sketchy, but not too bad. We are here at Cedar Grove. The boats all made it. Kevin is relieved to see his Yukon still perched up there. So we just gotta get out, get loaded, and get paddling. I like the sand. The crew is just about ready. We'll be shoving off the next couple of minutes, and I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. It already looks phenomenal. The first bend, it just looks inviting. It looks like somewhere you want to be paddling. The weather's pretty balmy. It's gonna start dropping, but right now it's actually pretty warm. The water is pretty clear. It's got a nice dark hue to it, but it's moving fast. It's a little low, which is good because if we get rain, we can stand a little more volume, but we'll have no trouble getting down this river. We'll fly. Well, we're on the water, feels great. It is 11:40. Got a perfect day, overcast, just the way we like it. Spitting rain, could not be better. And we are really looking forward to this one. I've wanted to paddle this river for a long time, and I've never paddled in the Ozarks before, so this is fun. It's about 65, 68 degrees, something like that. Feels fantastic. It did not take long to get to know this river. From the very first paddle stroke, you got a sense of what this river system was all about. Gravel beaches, rock bluffs, beautiful water, and sometimes braided current. We started things out with a bang, and that low-hanging stick almost tipped Tracy over. He kept himself upright, but managed to lose his new GoPro. We didn't discover this till we got a little further down the river. And normally, when on a river trip, the first day of paddling is all about logistics and getting things squared away, and maybe wondering what you didn't bring. But after the first couple miles, all that fell away, and there was just the river. I soon felt that old familiar feeling of having everything I needed in a little yellow boat and ready to cover some country. So we're here at Medlock Springs, and we got a spring just coming right out of the ground with a little waterfall. That's pretty sweet. So we're probably gonna fill up the water here. Yeah, the spring just coming right out of the ground there. I can feel it's cold. I'm gonna get my water bottle. So we ate a quick lunch and then filled our water bottles from the spring, and then jumped back in the boats to continue on our way. I'm liking this shallow water. Oh, maybe not that shallow. Stay right. I like when you can see it that's shallower than it is. I got a little bit of something coming out.
Tease before the thunderstorm.
It'd be nice to have the actual first beam of sun land when the camera's on. We're here at Welsh Springs. Kind of a hard thing to say. So we got some old ruins here, way back, and we got the spring coming right out the ground. It's insane. Look at that. That's awesome.
So I've got some relatives, distant relatives, that were part of this build, and it was initially built as a sanitarium for those that were suffering from consumption or TB. It was an old hospital. And the reason for its location is that there is a cave opening just under the structure of the foundation of this that goes way back into it. The water gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and eventually you get into a underground lake.
That's crazy.
And all this is tied into the several springs that you see here, just like this, that puts out millions of gallons a day.
So if you got tuberculosis and you were getting better, they sent you here to recover.
More or less,
that's crazy.
as I understand it, yeah.
That's crazy. Brian and his gang did a fantastic job of showing us down the river. They spent considerable time researching, scouting for campsites, and brushing up on the history of the landscape. In contrast to most rivers I paddle, it was almost as if we had a private tour guide. Most of the time, we're just blowing through country, unaware of the history and the stories that lurk in the hills. As we plowed through the day, the weather was changing. The warm weather was cooling off quickly, the winds were picking up, and you could almost feel the rain in the air. The forecast had been all over the place, and we weren't exactly sure what we would get. We spent the day floating through the hills on the emerald green water. We sought out the smaller channels and the road less traveled. It was always a gamble to see if there would be enough water to float us. We made the comment that we would like to see it again in the spring, and definitely we would love to see this place in the fall. But when you go on a river in the winter, as I've said before, it has a unique character of its own. It's not hiding anything. You get to see it for what it really is. We rounded the corner and came into Acres Ferry. We figured we'd stop at the store and maybe get a snack. And this is where we got the first surprise of the trip. A surprise I wasn't ready for. All right, we're here at Acres Ferry. Here's the ferry.
Okay, we're here at Acres Ferry. Here's the ferry. Payback, right there.
I love it. Oh.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, he got me. There's the store, and I see the open sign, which makes me happy. This might be our only shot at something along the river. I'm not sure. We're gonna get a couple drinks, maybe a snack, just to give them a little money and meet the people along the river. It's always a little fun. Legend has it that several mysterious creatures live in the Ozarks. One of these creatures is MOMO, the Missouri monster, a Bigfoot-like creature that roams the hills. What you're about to see is the first recorded evidence of the existence of MOMO. Everything started normally, going in a store to buy some tea. Something felt off. And just when I was about to grab a tea and make my purchase, there were no drinks, there were no candy, there was nothing in the store except diet tea. And everyone knows the one thing MOMO doesn't eat is diet tea. We were out of luck on the drinks, but it was at this moment that I realized we had made a significant scientific discovery. The brief bit of footage following proves the existence of MOMO, the wild hairy man of Missouri. This is quite possibly the first time it's ever been captured on film. Our interaction with MOMO did not meet that of the ill-reputed monster. We believe it was just misunderstood. We found MOMO to be friendly, even charming. Perhaps a little scary at first sight, but nevertheless, we owe it to this majestic creature to try to understand it a little more. One thing is for certain. I joined the ranks of those who believe in the legendary MOMO. Well, that didn't work out. Apparently, they're not stocked up yet, so if you don't like diet green tea, you're out of luck. The river was calling, so we shoved off, turned downstream, and set our sights on a place to camp. up at it. Kind of harder. We'll do this and someone will always leave it up. Oh no, sorry. Yeah. That's cold. Are you going in there? Huh? Nice. Woo-wee. Yeah. Cool in here. Yeah, it's a lot warmer out here. Nice. Oh, we made the right decision there. We were firmly into the trip and getting to know the rest of the crew more and more. And as the afternoon started slipping away, we were starting to feel tired. It's a weird mix of emotions of finally being on the river, taking it all in, but yet looking forward to some rest. Brenda Dillard and his crew had set their sights on Pull-Tight Springs. There was a nice little hardwood flat that would be perfect for hammock camping. Just a few more miles of afternoon perfection, and it would be time to set up a hammock, build a fire, and relax in for the evening. We were all looking forward to that. Thread the needle on that little 2 rocks. Yeah. Get it, Dirt Dobber.
been in the boat for a while. My knees is creaking. That'll work for now. So we're here at Pool Tide Springs, and we are setting up camp. Springs are coming in over there. It's pretty awesome. It's like a small river. And then got all the boats kind of strung out here and boys stringing camp together. I think I'm gonna run between these two trees and call it a day. And then maybe set up a gear tarp somewhere close by for the boat and everything. And make sure everyone's got a spot. And then start eating some dinner. Fantastic day on the water. It was kind of overcast, but you get that this time of year. The river is moving. There's a lot of current, a lot of speed. Even though it's a little low, it's still very doable. Just a few drags every now and then, but mostly sitting still between 3 and 4 miles an hour, just sitting there. There's a couple slower spots, but when you get up to speed, I think we got up to like 8.5 miles an hour max in one of the rapids. But it's been a great day. We are ready to go to sleep though. That was a long drive last night and a long day of paddling. How you feeling, Kev? Ready for bed? Oh, it's time for bed, so there might not be a lot of conversation tonight, but we had fun. So let me get this strung. Talk to you in a minute. Good morning. Fantastic night's sleep last night. I went to bed probably at 8:30 here local, so like 9:30 Eastern, what I'm used to. We were tired. We stayed up by the fire and laughed we probably laughed and told stories for an hour and a half, maybe close to 2 hours, before we were just finally so tired we had to just put it up. So and I slept till right now, which is 6. So that's 10 hours of sleep. I'm happy about that. But I feel much better. It's a really warm morning. Feels great. I'm gonna get the jet boil going here. And boil some water real quick and then make my breakfast, and I think I might make a smagicino. The smagicino, kind of a long story, but it was my preferred drink when I had a job working for the military. It's half coffee, half hot chocolate, and really good when you're out in the field and you just want something soothing to drink and warm. Smagicino. It's pretty good. So yeah, this is how I'm living. It's kind of a hot mess.
Got my camp table on there with my jet boil. That's about ready. That's my big box here that runs the Baltic and the raft powers. And then my little boxes that keep all the GoPros and accessories and SD cards and batteries, everything like that going. Oh, got my water ready. Standby one. I will say I've learned with the Hydro Flask, you got to be careful about how hot the water is when you put it in there. If you want to drink this anytime in the next 5 hours, it needs to be a temperature you can drink when you pour it in. A lot of times I pour it in too hot, and then it's like after lunch before I can even sip it. But I think I've learned that lesson a little bit, so I'm going to add a little colder water to it, then it should be perfect. Still a little warm. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna just sit here for a minute and enjoy things. I am a firm believer that there's always something new to learn. Even if you got it all figured out, someone will invent something that makes you learn something new. And Austin is a fan of the Ridge Runner bridge hammock. And Brian and I have been giving it a shot this morning. What do you think? Pretty good? I laid in it because I just somehow have never laid in a bridge hammock. It is pretty comfortable. I haven't slept in one overnight, so I can't give you a full on how I feel about it, but yeah, Brian's demonstrating
about it.
Side sleeping. You can sleep on your side, your back. It's just a different take on a hammock.
But now, how do you keep the
A lot of people love them. Yeah, so Austin's going to trade me my old Eno for the bridge hammock, so I'll be able to review that and test that
You
here.
gonna talk to Austin about that?
It's warmer than
Kevin in the ninja suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd you sleep, brother?
It's an
Right on.
pad, so it's
That was a good night of sleep. I mean, I was out, bro. I had to wake up one time to mark my territory. But other than that, I was like,
I didn't even do
oh,
that, man. It was,
there he is.
there he is. Well, I did
And the party is complete. How'd you sleep, big dog?
Like a rock.
Man,
Last night.
I slept hard.
I did.
I woke up.
I think I woke up once.
Yeah, I woke up once to pee, then,
Yeah.
man, what a good night's sleep. That's perfect sleeping weather. The brook, the air,
The frog.
the frogs, spring peepers all night.
Million frogs out there.
So yeah, here's the camp. It's Brian and the gang over there knew about this place, and it's perfect. It's what we needed at the right time of day. It's a pretty cool camp. We got a spring that it's so big, it looks like a river flowing into the current. So we'll be able to fill up water after breakfast. River's right there. Just a nice little flat. So this was under her hammock last night. That's a bear if it's not you.
It is not.
It looks like it.
I could smell the
We
hair.
may have to do a forensic footprint.
Okay, here we go.
You know how
I
to
swear.
detective work.
I think it was Kevin.
She's missing a toe.
Now Kevin does sneak around under tents
Oh
sometimes.
my God. Because I got it when I got out. It was right under that's my stepping thing.
Yeah, it was. If it's a smudge,
And I didn't get up all night. Why? Because that thing was under my tent. Or my
Brenda thinks a small bear was under her Noah's tarp with her last night.
I could smell the hair.
She could smell the hair.
And it grunted. It
Now,
was very big. Okay. So I'm not worried. And
hey, it's the highest in camp fashion right here. He heard something under her tarp,
And I smelled wet
and she
hair.
smelled wet hair, and this print
Grunting.
is on her mat.
That's my step out mat.
That's a bear.
That's a bear, isn't it? That is a bear.
That's a bear, buddy.
That's awesome. I'm gonna one more time. What do y'all think, folks? Is that Brenda?
No, it's not.
Is that
me.
Kevin? a small bear.
I had my wool socks on last night. See?
Or the Wampus cat or a chupacabra. I'm not sure.
That is my.
Yeah, she had her socks
I have
on.
my socks on. I don't sleep without my.
There was a bear under Brenda's tarp. That's pretty cool.
So tonight, y'all are gonna show me how to enclose.
Yeah, it's the tarp is bear proof when you do it a little different, for sure.
Yeah, you're just here knocking on the door.
That's a pretty cool story.
Okay, thanks for identifying
Josh,
my
for the Turtlehead boys, who had a small child's footprint in the sand after camping one night on an island, thinks it may be a ghost. So Josh, we're talking about you this morning. Brenda and Josh have something in common. Only hers
Have
was
wet
not a
hair.
small child. It was a small bear. All right, so you saw me dragging my boat up, probably a couple hundred yards, 200-300 yards max. All that water's coming out of the ground right there. Pretty cool stuff. I mean, this kind of stuff's a little bit new. I've seen it in Florida, but that's a lot of water coming out of a hill. It's kind of crazy. All right, I'm here at the top of Pull Tight Springs, and I am going to try to make the fastest known time on the descent of the entire Pull Tight Springs trace here. And got the spring right in front of me. All of this coming out right here. Got some beautiful sunshine. And we'll start the stopwatch right now at 1 minute. I'll go. 3, 2, 1. Let's roll. And the sunglasses. Ready? Come on, Betsy. There we go. Here comes the hard part. Will he make it? Oh no. Was that a drone? You. There it is, guys. I've been training for this my whole life. Fastest known time descent of Pull Tight Springs. So I can't tell you. I want to thank my support staff, Archetype, the other River Kings, Sidetrail Adventures, Wondering Electrician, and of course Brian Hubbard, and my family for letting me come out here and achieve such great things. It does have a fluffy tail. I don't think it's a squirrel though. It's not an otter. It is maybe an otter.
Yeah. It was a mink. Hope you saw that. That was pretty cool. Speed. We can sail.
So after a fun morning and a quick run down Pull-Tight Springs, we shoved off and started making our way down the current river. We would go about 20 miles today and look for the next campsite on a gravel bar. A little bit of sun on our face felt great, and it gave the river valley a whole new look. We didn't know how long the sun would last, but we did know more rain was coming. It made us appreciate it even more and relish the moments we had. I'm not 100% sure why, but there's hardly anything in this world I like better than watching the sun dance on top of a moving river. We spent our morning taking it all in, exploring the nooks and crannies of the landscape. There were small caves, rock bluffs, that blue-green water. And the day had a certain calm to it. It was hard to put my finger on. It was peaceful and pleasant. All right, we are here at the Gem Cave. Got the crew eddied out and hopefully tied off. I can feel the cold air coming out of there. Whew. Right on. So yeah, this is neat. It's like being in a Disney attraction. I hear a waterfall. We'll wait for the crew, I guess. That might be a good River Kings photo.
There are snakes. What? Snakes hibernating here, no joke. They might slither by you, just watch your step. I'm kidding.
So I know you can't really see well on the GoPro, but we're going back in this cave. And I can hear a waterfall. I'm sure you can too. How about that, folks?
Now that picture of the video of Brenda, that's the waterfall you can see.
How far back in here have you been?
Yeah, maybe a quarter to a half a mile. Don't forget that when the shovel is following.
Very cool. Yeah, so that is that's pretty cool. You don't get caving every day on a river trip, but pretty cool place this is. Pretty neat. Stroke into it, and then spin your boat. Let the speed of your boat carry you in there. After a quick hike through a cave and a lesson on how to catch eddies, we carried on down the river. The clouds had taken back over the sky, and the sun was just a memory. You could feel the spit of rain hit your cheeks on occasion, a sign of things to come. But we pressed on, enjoying every inch of this river and enjoying each other's company. There was a few riffles, a few rapids, beautiful scenery, and beautiful green water as far as the eye could see. We just sat back and took it in. And that's the thing about an adventure. Some moments are tranquil and calm and peaceful, and the river can lull you to sleep. But you need to be on your toes, because sometimes the river gets angry, and you need to be prepared. Oh man, that's coming up fast. Austin. Hey Austin. Hey buddy. Wake up, get on your dry suit, and pack this camp up. We got 30 minutes max. There's just only so much rain a river can take, and we're getting to that break point.